Okay, we are live for our sixth podcast. Hello, my name is Darcy the Rock, and this is Terry Osty. Hi, Terry.
Good
Hello.
afternoon. I guess it is.
Hello.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say good afternoon because it may not be an
That's
afternoon
right.
part.
You are listening to Agent Tech Mastery podcast that revolutionizes real estate businesses. I have sadly almost 3 decades in information technology, and Terry, you have almost two
Almost two
decades as a
decades
real estate agent. Yeah.
in
And we
clients.
are your guides to streamlining operations, saving time, and boosting your revenue. Discover cutting edge technologies, systems, apps, and a mindset for a profitable and integrated business. If you want to know how to get there, you are in the right place. Okay, today is a big one. We are going to be talking about business cards. Now, Terry collects way more business cards than I do, but I have seen thousands over the years of. So we do this podcast on YouTube so you can see us. So if you want to watch what we're showing you, you can go to the YouTube channel, Agent Tech Mastery. But we know that you're listening on a lot of your favorite podcast systems, so you may not be able to see what we're talking about. So we'll try and verbally tell you as well. So this topic came across when you and I were having a discussion on another podcast about business cards, and we thought, well, we'll just do a quick podcast about business cards. So Terry, number one, what's your take on business cards?
So you know what? I really, really, really like business cards because it's a tangible item that you can give to somebody, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard lots of comments. I shouldn't say lots, but I've heard people say, Terry, it's 2024. Why would you have a business card? It's a printed piece of material. We're in the age of technology and blah, 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 right? But
Yeah.
I tell you how if you have if you have a really crappy business card, of course,
Yes.
you give me a crappy business card, guess where it's going?
Yeah.
In the garbage, right?
And by crappy, you mean like
Okay, yeah, I should
done
define that.
by
Like it was printed printing company that charged you 2 cents a card, and
because you're cutting corners.
you're allowed three colors only,
Yeah. Or
and
white only with
the
black print.
stock is really thin, and
Yeah.
your 20-year-old picture is on it.
Oh, don't even get me started. Listen, people. Okay, listen, people. Linda.
And
I don't know
listen,
if everyone gets that reference, but if you don't, go Google Linda
uh,
because it's hilarious. Um, I cannot tell you how many times that I have a meeting with an agent and I look on their website or I've got their card somehow and then I meet them. I'm like, that's not you. Or that's what you look like 20 years ago and sometimes 30 years ago. People, at least within the last 5 years, please, please, please have a current photo. Okay. So, number one, if you're going to put a photo on your business card, which isn't a bad idea, I don't think. What's your thoughts, Terry?
it depends. I got a kind of a 50-50
Yeah.
yes or no.
Yeah.
Some people go, no, I don't want my face on my card. It's and blah
Mhm.
blah blah. Some people, oh yeah, I got to put my face on everything.
Yeah. Not sure about
So,
everything, but yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
people
it's
might
perfectly
remember you if they open up or look at your card and go, oh, it's that person. But they won't remember you if you don't look like that.
yeah, no, exactly. One of the things that happens, and if you ever go to a lot of conferences, you end up coming home with a big stack of cards,
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
Um, and 3 or 4 days after the conference, when you finally get back to your desk and you have this big stack of cards you got to deal with, I can guarantee you, if there's not a picture on that card, you may not remember who that
Yeah.
person was who gave you the card.
That's so true.
I
Yeah.
know people will make notes on the card of where they met and like met for a drink at the lounge or whatever and talked about
Yes.
whatever. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that, but I can guarantee you, if there's no kind of signal or anything to kind of trigger for you to remember anything
Yeah.
about that person, then the card just goes like, hmm.
That kind of reminds me of a little trick I did. This is just a tip for you guys. When I'm at conferences and people hand me cards, if someone said, please contact me, I will, I've kind of forgotten what I do now because it's been a while since I've been in a conference, but the right-hand side means, contact immediately, turning the corner of their business card. The left-hand side means send them something, whatever it might be. And then ones I don't bend, I don't really care about. It's kind of how I work when you're at a conference and you get, 100 business cards from people.
Yeah.
Just a little tip for people, because sometimes you can't write on every business card because sometimes they're black, or you can't write easily on a card unless they're white and not in a matte finish, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
Okay.
So,
So back to
yeah,
business cards.
yeah, the picture part of it, yeah, definitely personal preference, but I think it's handy just as if you're handing cards out, people, if number one, if they keep your card, great, then they'll be able to remember you a little easier,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the things also is that you should be following the rules and regulations of your area. Do you have to put your brokerage name on it? I'm going to guess the answer is yes. Do you have to put the brokerage address on it? Probably. Different regions are different. Do you have to put certain designations on your card? Do it. So you have to know the rules of your area and follow them across the board on business cards and everywhere else, right, Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, for sure. So I also think when I remember I talked about, I said crappy business cards.
Yeah,
It's a very subjective term, of course,
I guess
but
it is.
when you're giving somebody a business card, more than likely you're in a scenario where you're meeting for the first time.
Yeah. And that's an impression.
So you only get one chance to, and the business card is a reflection about how you run your business,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can argue with me about that one if you want, not you, but anybody
I
if
can
you want.
argue.
But I always think the marketing materials that you put out into the world are a
Yeah.
reflection of how you operate your business.
Yeah.
And so why not take that extra step and just get a nicer card, a better, bit better quality card. Uh,
Yeah.
you'll,
And the cost isn't that, like,
I don't
you
even
have an
know.
incredible card, and every single time I'm with Terry and he hands his card out, wherever we are, out for dinner or wherever, and he gives his card over. Every single time they go, I've never seen a card like this. This is beautiful. Now, your beautiful card
Yeah.
cost you, do you remember how much you paid?
No, I don't actually. The sleeve, I think, if I remember correctly, because we have a special sleeve.
Yeah.
I think the sleeve is 75 cents because it's foil embossed
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
and stuff like that. So I think it's 75 cents, but I don't care even if it's like $2 or like,
Right.
you
Gives us the
know,
impression.
yeah, it's whatever, like it doesn't matter how much it costs,
Yeah.
it's a reflection upon you and the services that you provide, right?
Well, I guess that's the same. And honestly, because you're people listening on podcasts, you cannot see Terry's business card, but his actual card is quite thick card stock.
Yep.
And then it goes into a sleeve that is gorgeous and embossed. So every single card. So imagine handing this over and it's not this normal business card. So it's a gorgeous card.
Yeah.
You did a
So I
really
got
great job.
yeah, they my designer Kim Veazey put it together for me.
Yeah, Kim did a fabulous
Yeah.
job. If anyone wants info, just contact us. We'll let you know. She
So
did a great job on the design.
yeah.
And then you got them made somewhere else though,
We got
right?
them printed in Vancouver, I think, but we did the gold embossing, we did a matte finish, we also did spot gloss on it. And
Yeah.
then we did the gold edging as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's multiple layers of things going on in this
Yeah.
card.
People, that's probably over some people's head, but they just look gorgeous. They're beautiful. They feel um, rich.
People don't
Like
want
they
to throw them away.
know because they're gorgeous cards. And so,
Mhm.
food for thought for agents. And then on the flip side of a business, not the, I don't actually mean the flip side of a business card, but the information is also critical on a business card. And then again, watch our other podcasts because we go into this in more detail. We'll probably talk again because I've talked for 30 years to businesses about what to put on business cards and how to set up your business appropriately. So if it was Terry and you as another agent and you're computing for business and Terry brings this really professional business card to the client, to the listing appointment, let's say, all the marketing materials are professional. He doesn't take pictures with his camera, his own phone of the location. He looks very businesslike, like he's a true professional. And then another agent has this flimsy card that has their Yahoo email on it, no website, and their cell number, which is full. I can't tell you. Here's another thing. This drives me bonkers. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you because we make a lot of calls to agents. And I cannot believe how many times I've called someone and their voicemail is full.
No, really?
Yes. I don't think I've ever told you this because it's shocking to me. It's like you are a agent. You cannot have a full voicemail because you don't know. Maybe I'm not going to text you. And I'm like, oh, well, that's weird because I'll call you tomorrow. Oh, it's still full. Oh, I'll call you next week. Oh, it's still full. And you don't know that because you don't know how to check your voicemails. Like it makes no sense. Okay. So please, that's another tip for you. Please make sure you have enough storage in your system for anyone's voicemail messages or have them auto delete after so many weeks or days after you've listened to them. It makes no sense. Oh my gosh, I went on a rant. Okay, so back to the business card. Your mobile number that you answer, or we can leave a message and respond to text messages as well. Right?
Correct. What do you think about QR codes on business cards?
Yeah, I am. Well, I think it's not like you're a plant in the audience, but you guys can't see it. I'm holding up a QR business card that I have.
But what about
And
QR codes on just your regular business card? What do you think?
I, you know, I have mixed feelings about the QR codes. And I guess it depends on where it's sending people to.
Mhm.
And what Terry's talking about, so the difference is between my card, which the whole card is a QR card, or a business card that's a piece of paper that has a QR code. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't see many of those. Do you see very many of those?
No, I got no, I don't see very many people doing that. But it's an opportunity for sure. But I
It is.
tell about your OVU card.
I will tell you
Yes.
guys about the business card I
Yes.
use. So, but there's also two sides of things. So let's go back to real estate agent business cards. So now you have two types of business cards, I believe. So when you go do a showing, and this is, we're probably going to get people commenting on this, and I don't understand why people think it's a problem, but I'm on Facebook groups with agents and I see people commenting about the old school way of when you go into a showing and you leave your business card on the counter. I think it's incredibly good to do that. Shows you're there. Like, can you explain that a little bit when we talk about leaving business cards, what your thoughts are? Because I see
So
a lot of agents saying that's so old school and stupid. And I think it's a good idea, but let's hear Terry's.
yeah, so where I work, it's kind of expected to leave your business card. Number one, it proves that you were there
Yeah.
and you just didn't give your clients the lockbox code and they went in by themselves, which is totally a contravention of our code of conduct.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
It does happen though. So it proves that you're actually were there. And then I've had clients on my listings where we used a lockbox on it, and then they would call me and say, "Hey, the agent didn't leave a card," and they were angry that the agent didn't leave a card, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
um, but
It costs nothing to do. So why, I don't understand why people are even complaining about this. Leave
yeah,
a card.
yeah, for sure.
And you don't leave your fancy card though.
Oh yeah, not with a sleeve on it, but
Not with the sleeve, but
yeah,
you just leave you leave the sleeve for real people.
yeah,
And
sure.
then the other ones you just
Yeah.
put the card on the table.
Yeah, no, for sure. The
Okay.
I know some agents that make special cards and it'll look like their regular card, but it'll
Mhm.
just say, "Thank you for letting us come to your home today to view it."
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that's
So
smart too.
yeah,
But I
so it's
do
not
think
bad. Yeah.
it's just a courtesy of leaving your card when you go do a showing. I don't understand when there was a Facebook feed about this, and there was people saying, what a jerk this guy, why did he leave a card, he's trying to get the business from the listing agent. Like, that's not the reason for it. Like, like, hello.
Yeah, I can see
Right?
that, especially if the buyer's agent has a nicer card than you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, then
The
maybe.
seller's like, "Oh, geez, look at this nice card,"
Yeah,
right? But
exactly.
I've never heard of in 20 years anybody getting a listing because they left a really nice business card and their sellers fired them.
Yeah, right. That makes no sense. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about digital cards because you have one too. After I got it, I showed Terry, and you have one as well. So there are a ton of digital cards. And what that means is, like, I know you guys can't see it who are listening to this podcast, but I've got a plastic card that I personally don't carry business cards around. I am not an agent. I just help agents. So my business is different. I think you guys need the physical cards for some things. But just thinking about it, like, this is a beautiful card. It's got my logo on the front. It's got my name on the front, and it's got a QR code that is embossed and beautiful and gold. Everything like this looks like a fancy card. So when if anyone's listening to this, I research everything to death, and so I wanted the digital card to work properly. And in my brain, if you've been following me for any length of time, when someone scans the card, does it end up in their contacts, not in the contacts of the digital card, but in your contacts? And people don't understand this, some end up in the contact of the digital card system, and then you have to manually enter it into your contacts. Many do that. I must have tried about 4 cards before I found this one. It's called OVU. I don't even know if I say that right. OVOU. And I think the card, I don't really remember. I've had it now for a number of years, but I think it was around $100 and some odd to get this. And I don't know if I pay for it annually. I would. I don't care. Again,
I don't think you do.
you and I about costs. If something works, pay for it. Right? Nothing in this world is for free. And if it's for free, there's a reason for it. They're taking your data, they're selling your data, they're doing something, or you're just in a trial of it. But the OVU card I love, so I configure it, people can scan it, but if you come by, I can tap my card on your phone and it will add my contacts to your phone, and I'll get them a notification, and you'll have an option to share your contact information with me as well. So it's super cool. I love this OVU card. And one of the things, again, podcasts I can't show, but what's interesting, when you scan it, it goes to actually I should log on and tell you guys what it does. OVU. Let's see if oh no, I can't show you. Forget it. It goes to a landing page on OVU that has a little video of me saying hi. It has links that every person when I'm at a conference would want to know about, a copy of the presentation, some downloads and some other checklists and other things that I am consistently talking about. So everything is on that page. So I don't have to update my business card ever. I update the landing page. And it's kind of like, I think some agents use Linktree. It's similar, like Linktree is just like a landing page where your information is. This is better, I think, than Linktree, but because I just have to have this one card and I update whenever I need to, I update the information on the landing page. Any comments about that, Terry?
No, it's good. I think, like, for me, I like the idea of having both.
Yeah.
If I want to give somebody a tangible piece of printed material, I can. But if it's
Yes.
someone who's tech savvy and says, "Oh, I don't want to carry a card around," I just bring on my OVU and say, "Here, tap, and you're good to go," right? So
That's right.
you get the
Yeah.
best of both.
And it literally says in the notes that it came from OVU. So you'll always know where they got the card, and the date, I think, is on there as well.
Mm.
And so it's a pretty cool system. I'm just looking it up now. Okay, yeah. So my public view, I'm just going to go look. Yeah, so I have all my social media links on there. I have a link to book a complimentary review with me, a video to watch for agent training that's free, some checklists, our YouTube channel, testimonials, and a video of me just talking about systems and things. And then, of course, the important stuff: phone number and email and website. Okay, so I love the digital card, and I find it extremely useful. And I use it. This is just a FYI. This is different than probably what you guys, but I speak at conferences. So I might be at a conference with 500 people in the room, and I can't, I'm not handing out cards, but what I'll do is I'll take that QR code, I'll put it on the presentation on the slide, and I'll just tell people to take a camera image and then it adds me to their contacts. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. And
So yeah.
so we like you're talking about before, you do a lot of researching and et cetera, et
Oh,
cetera. And at one point in time, there was a metal business card of it. Well, they still are. And you got
yes.
some.
Yes.
Remember what happened at the airport? So
Oh my God. Yeah. And so I did get it because I wanted to stand out too. And I didn't really do the sleeves like Terry. So I bought these, yeah, metal business cards and they were cool. But every time I would hand it to someone, they'd make a joke about drugs as well. And I'm like, okay, that's not really what I was going for. That wasn't even in my radar when I got the metal cards. And then they weighed a lot. So if I took a stack of business cards with me to a conference, they weighed a lot, and luggage is expensive by weight. And
Yeah.
then I got what happened at the airport?
Every time you go through security,
Yeah, because it would be in my carry-on.
there was a big block of steel.
I'd get stopped because it's like, what has she got?
Carry-on. Got a
So
bomb in there? What do you got in there?
I ended up recycling the business cards because they were not useful and they were so heavy. And really, I've just come across this Ovu one after I did all this research and testing, and I've now been using it for probably I don't even know. Do you remember how long it's been? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, Alicia.
At least that, yeah. So anyhow, if you're looking for a digital business card that looks nice, check out Ovu, OVOU.
Mhm.
Any parting shots, Terry?
Well, all I can do is if you are using printed business cards, don't cheap out on them. It's like, oh, gosh, like you can go, okay, well, I'm gonna get 1,000 cards for $200.
Yeah.
Okay, spend $400. Get some
Yeah.
better cards, or spend $500, whatever the number is. It's
Yeah.
such a little amount of money to actually present yourself in a better light. And you might get some really cheap ones that you just, you know, when you do buyer tours, those are the ones you leave at the other homes just to show you that you were there if you want to save a few
Yeah.
pennies per card.
Yeah.
But if you're going to present your card to a potential client, it has to be nice.
Yeah. Well, and I was just thinking of something when you were saying that is that I talk to agents who switch brokerages a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you switch a brokerage, it's going to cost you money. So that's food for thought as well about, why are you switching? We actually, we should have a topic about that on one of our podcasts about
Brokerages.
people who switch brokerages all the time and the
Mhm.
costs involved. And one of those costs would be you have to get new business cards every single time, right?
Correct.
And so you just spent $200 and then you leave in a year and you spent another $200 and then you leave in 6 months and then you got to spend another $200. Sometimes that's covered in the fees, but they usually give you a cheapo business cards, right?
Yeah, they'll go, we'll give you some free business cards, and you get 200 of these really awful looking cheap cards.
Yeah. And okay. And here's, oh my gosh. And what's on the business card that they provide?
Their email address, the brokerage
Yeah.
email
The
address.
brokerage email address they have given you. If you don't know why I'm saying do not do that, I want to swear right now. Do not use it. Do not use a brokerage CRM. Do not use a brokerage email. Do not use the cards that they give you. Please go back and watch the other podcasts we've done on email addresses and the importance of it and owning your own data. And it's so, 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 so important. Okay, so I almost said that was the last thing we were going to talk about, but any other things you want to talk about, Terry, about business cards?
No, I'm a fan of printed business cards. I think there's a place for them. I'm
Yeah.
also a fan of the electronic ones as well, where you get to scan it, tap it, do
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. It
Place for
makes you
that
look
as
cool
well.
too.
Yeah, for sure, you're on top of things, right? It's, yeah, it's but at the end of the day, for me, it's whatever your like business cards are part of your marketing package.
Yeah.
The look and feel should be the same as all your other materials,
Yeah.
and hopefully you spend a little extra money to take it to that next level. Because I have you can't see this. I have a stack on my desk about 1.5 inches thick of cards that I haven't put into my CRM yet.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you 99 out of these 100 cards are just cheapy, like awful business cards.
Yes. Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
exactly. So they don't impress me much.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you again for your insights, Terry, and everybody. And I'm going to add to our list of podcast topics about switching brokerages around and things to
Whoa. Yes.
consider. um, so, yeah. So, if you're stuck and piecemealing your business together, let's get you where you want to go. If you want help to do that, book a call with Agent Tech Mastery at agenttechmastery.com/apply pod. And it's absolutely free and possibly the best call you have ever had to change your business. Again, www.agenttechmastery.com/apply pod. Look forward to seeing you again at our next podcast or listening, hearing. And thanks again, Terry. We will do this again in a couple weeks.